Hello and welcome to our presentation on the effects of mood on decision making. I'm Gavin Mumford and these are the rest of the group members.
Hi, I'm Madison Paulsen.
Hi, I'm Hannah Windhorn.
To start, I have a question. Do you think the Mississippi River is longer or shorter than 2,000 miles? Keep that answer in your head. Now, chances are your answer was probably close to 2,000 miles. That 2,000 would be an example of an anchor. An anchor is when a participant is given an initial piece of information, in this case 2,000 miles, and change their estimate based on that initial information. So there are two different types of anchors, low and high. In the case of the Mississippi River, 2,000 would be considered a high anchor because the number is quite large compared to the actual answer. So that could be seen here and in comparison. And a low anchor in this case would be 70, which could be seen here. And the answer that people would give would be relatively small in comparison. And that would be an example of a low anchor. In our study, we wish to see how different feelings could impact these anchors. And we based our anchors from this table from Jacowitz and Kahneman from 1995, which had both low and high anchors, as you can see here, for different questions such as, is the maximum speed of a house cat faster or slower than 7 miles per hour? So previous research suggests that decision-making is modified based on information that is readily available, also known as an anchor bias. This is a form of decision-making that can be influenced by various factors such as mood. And many studies that look at mood, they typically use mood induction techniques such as a video or music to achieve their desired mood that they want the participant to feel. While these forms of mood induction seem to be successful, previous research seems to suggest that autobiographical writing is the most effective for mood induction due to its more personal nature. Many different studies have researched the effects of mood on anchor bias through various mood manipulations, but none have compared anger to a neutral state, which is what we did. And based on previous research, we hypothesized that participants who are angry will be less influenced by the anchor than those who are in a neutral state.
So for our methods, we had 31 participants from the Carroll College population, and participants were randomly assigned to either the control, so the neutral mood condition, or the experimental group, which was the anger mood condition. Mood was induced through a 10-minute autobiographical writing task. When the participants came in, they were either given the neutral prompt, which asked what they had had for lunch the day before, or the anger prompt, which asked them to describe a time when they were so angry that the person reading it would feel angry too. Afterwards, after the writing task, the participants would fill out the positive and negative affect scale, also known as the PANAS questionnaire, and they were given this to ensure the mood induction worked. Then participants completed the Anchor Questionnaire, and we used the questionnaire from Jacowitz and Kahneman, 1995. This is an example of the questionnaire that we used based on Jacowitz and Kahneman. And the participants were asked to circle the first option, and then they were asked to write a numerical answer on the second option.
So for this graph, we decided shows our calibration medium that we used. We used a calibration medium that was previously found by the Jacowitz and Kahneman study in 1995. They found these calibration mediums by taking participants who had no anchor influence and asking them, for instance, the length of the Mississippi River, how high do they think Mount Everest is, things such as that. We then used the data that we gathered to find our anchor index scores, which an anchor index measures the movement of the median estimate of the subject towards the anchor. We used the equation used by Jacowitz and Kahneman, as you can see here in the bottom of the screen, which we used for our anchor index lows and our anchor index highs. This graph shows our average anchor index scores between low and high anchors. Overall, there was a significant effect of the anchor, indicating that people rated things higher in the high condition and lower in the low condition. For our high anchor in the red, we found that participants had an average index score of 1.19. And for the low anchor in green, we found that participants had an average score of 0.4717. This graph shows our average scores from the PANAS between the moods. This shows that our mood induction did work. We did not find a difference in the feeling in the positive feelings, but there was a significant difference in negative feelings between the angry and neutral conditions. This graph shows our average index scores between the anchors and the moods. There was no significant difference found in the anchor index scores between high and low anchors, dependent on mood. For the high anchors, we found that there was only a p-score of 0.981. And for the low anchors, we found that there was only a p-score of 0.311.
So we originally expected that those in the neutral mood condition would have a higher anchor index score. However, we did not find that. What we found was that both the anger and the neutral mood condition were equally susceptible to the anchor. Failure to find an effect may be due to the number of participants we had. Future research should continue, but with a larger sample size, and use both high and low anchors for each question. In a study done by Jung and his researchers in 2011, they found that participants assessed new information and their opinion was influenced when they were in the anger mood condition. However, this study had 97 participants, whereas our current study only had 31 participants. In the study that we replicated from Jacowitz and Kahneman, 1995, they found significant results between mood and anchor index scores, but they had 156 participants. So for future research, we would like to have a greater sample size. All participants did show bias towards anchoring, confirming that individuals do use available information to make quick judgments and decisions, indicating that this is a strong effect. Thank you for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the information below.